Okay, welcome to lesson 2 for class Quiver. You've gotten the overview so far. You understand what it does and what you can do with it. Now it's time to get your class set up. And to do that, I am first going to go to a whole new class. So I'm going to go to it by default. Class 1 would be like, say, first period. And some schools have a 0 hour. That would be like before school starts. But class 1, I would say, is period 1. And what you click on is classes and go to the options for the current class. This is how we're going to set this class up. So first thing we're going to do is give it a name. I like to just call it, P1 or period 1. But the course name is really important because your lesson plan files are associated with this course. So if you have multiple periods of the same course, you want to use the same lesson plans for each one of those periods. If you want to, you could just drop down and pick one of those courses that you've created. I've only created one so far, a course called Demonstration, so I'll use that. And you'll see how the lesson plans for that course will follow this period. And if you want to rename these courses, that's a little bit of a uh, more entailed. So I've provided for you a really easy tool to rename them. You just pick whichever class course you have, and then you can delete it or just type a new name for it, and then it'll fix it for you for all your classes. Now, by default, I've put in 30 seats. And so, as you can see, that's it. That's the arrangement, my default arrangement for 30 seats. You could change that to however many seats you actually physically have in your classroom. So if you only have 28, you just drop that down to the 28. If this is the case for all your classes, I made this easy so that you can just apply it now to every class. Okay, I'm going to follow my plan. Well, the lesson plans are not here yet because I have not associated this course with the lesson. So at this point, I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to accept this. There, you notice I'm now down to 28 seats. And as you could also see, I'm also using the lesson plan. So I'm going to go to my lesson planner and I'm going to pick lesson 2 because that's what we're working on now. Great. And now I can see course and class names was my first item on my lesson plan. Dates and birthdays, and then assigning seats will be my third. So let's go back to the options for this class. So dates, I just by default put in September 1st and date 6/15, but you would of course put that in each year according to the calendar. And if this is the case for all your classes, just simply click this and they'll take care of them all. I like to use half your birthday, so this program will automatically calculate that date for a student if they should have a summer birthday where we don't get a chance to celebrate it. Here's where we get to pick the pictures. And so you can literally use any picture you want. And so I like to use the school pictures, at least to start with, and that way we can learn our names. And then if students want, they can choose avatars. They can literally anything you want. You can go to Google Images and type in SpongeBob and, download a picture of SpongeBob, and that could be their avatar. If that's really what they want, it's okay with you. So I'm just going to pick a folder that I know I've got pictures for, and that would be my demo class. And so once I pick my demo class, then I click OK, and notice a checkbox here, apply this now. So it will be apply, each one of those pictures will be associated with a seat. And the file name will be automatically placed as their student name. So if you are saving pictures from your school student information system, a simple right click on a picture, save image as, and give it a name. And it's really nice that you can change these names to whatever a student wants to be called in class. And those are not always the same, of course, as your school information system. All right, so we've got the number of seats and we've applied the pictures. If I click accept now, bam, there it is. All these pictures are now placed onto the desks. All right, so now my next item in my lesson plan is number of seats. By the way, I can click forward. I may not meet the exact time that an activity takes, and since I'm outside of the actual period, it won't start automatically. So I can start this, manually. Click on next, and now I'm going to do dates and birthdays. And dates, as you can see, are not here. Oops. And they're because I haven't put them in yet. Under planning, you can go enter birthdays, which all we care about is date of the month, the month. So month and date, month, day, in that format. To save time, I'm just going to go back to my other class, and so you can see them. Here they are. And once somebody's been celebrated, you can take them off the list. You say celebrated. Now Jennifer has been celebrated, and that removes her from the list of students who will get shown. And when the next 4 birthdays will show up down here on the bottom right. Okay, so but back in my current class options, the birthdays, the only option you have is, do I want to use half year birthdays? Okay, the next thing in my list of things to do is, no, get out of there, is to exporting and resetting. So I provided a lot of features, say at the end of the semester, if you want to switch classes over, that you can then reset your behavior tracking, when you right click on a student and, talking, cell phone, those or gold stars, you can reset all those back to 0. The points as well. If you're using points, that's in a different video lesson. You could put them all back to 0. But, before you do that, you might want to export the current class. It's just simply finding a place to put this comma separated values document, which you can open with Excel. Same thing here with incident logs. We have an incident log that you can then export as well. Incidents are tracked behaviors for the whole class. Then here we have, you can reset all your names back to empty. You can reset all the pictures back to dash. You just start over. You can also put the default layout back to the original and reset all seat restrictions. Basically, you resetting this back at the end of the semester so that you can put a new group of students in there. We also have an exit log, as demonstrated in the overview. When you right click on the exit, you can log when somebody leaves, and then right click log when they return. Well, that file is saved for you, and you can export that as well. Again, this one here is a rich text format. It's not an Excel file. Okay, so that's cool. Now, if you want to, you can just hit reset all, and every one of these things gets reset when you click accept. And by the way, you could decide which class is the opening class. So if you start this program up in the morning, which class does it go to first? This is the one that I have selected. Okay, and then finally on my lesson plan, I've got sound options. And so let's talk about sound options. Back on my options for current class, you have 2 types of sounds in Class Quiver. One are all the sound effects that it makes. And depending on where you like to put your volume for your computer, for example, if you're going to be showing videos or other files that have audio, then how does this relate relative to that? So you don't want to be in a situation where you're constantly changing the volume. So Right now, by default, your sound effects are at medium volume, and there's also challenge music. This is the other group of music files, and when we're in flash cards, you could do challenge rounds, and you can do competitions, and game show like music comes on. And so right now that's set at low. And if you make any changes, you can apply these to all your classes, making it super easy. And that's it. There's not too much to it. So that's how you set up your class going forward. Thank you for watching.